Hey, what's Living Universe? It's Xander, and welcome back to WWE 2K Universe Mode. We're here for Smackdown Live, and we're kicking things off tonight. Well, it's a bit of an interesting situation. It has to do with the Smackdown vs. Raw matchup at WrestleMania. I'll explain more as the competitors make their way to the ring. So, this matchup that we're about to have now is not going to officially determine the number one contender. Or not the number one contender, but is not going to officially determine the man that represents SmackDown at WrestleMania. Instead, the winner of this matchup goes into a battle royal in our main event to determine who represents SmackDown at WrestleMania. As here comes the Intercontinental Champion, Tommaso Ciampa. Champa making his way to the ring with Goldie clenched very, very tight against his waist. Champa tonight is taking on a man he knows pretty well here in Universe Mode. He's taking on the Rated R Superstar. He's taking on Edge. Here comes Edge to the ring. Here we go. Whoa! Edge caught Champa that time. Remember, these two faced off back at TLC for the Intercontinental Championship. And on that night, Champa was the winner. But tonight, Edge looking to get some redemption there. Champa only has been defeated once here in Universe Mode thus far, and that was inside the Elimination Chamber a few weeks ago when Roman Reigns pinned him. And oh, Champa dumps Edge out of the ring. Referee beginning a count here as Champa getting fired away on by Edge. You want to put your opponent away as quick as possible in this matchup since you're going to be competing again later tonight. With only a bit of a buffer between yourself and the other man in the Battle Royal. We're also going to be determining who gets the third out of the 4 spots in the Women's Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania in our next matchup. But Champa, Cloverleaf locked in on Edge, who gets the ropes. Oh boy. Well, this is interesting. Where is he? Look out, Champa! Gargano! Plants Champa in the mat. Referee didn't see it. As Edge with an elbow drop to Champa. Champa planted by Gargano. And Champa now trying to fight back. Throws Edge over the top. Champa, right hand from Edge. Edge back in the ring, and now Edge. No, Champa kick to the ribs. And oh, went for a clothesline. Edge out of the way. Edge with one to the back of the head. Edge now picks up Champa and Edge. Grabs Champa and Edge. Picks him up, slams him down. Edge with a chop. And now Edge, elbows drop to the back of Champa. And another. And another. Edge now picking up the Intercontinental Champion. On Champa counters. Champa taking out the knees. Champa a bit more on edge now, no pun intended, after the attack from Gargano just a moment ago. Edge catches him. Execution. And Edge. Spear to Ciampa. 1, 2, 3.
You think you know me?
Edge qualifies for the Battle Royal later tonight. But up next, we've got our next qualifying match for the Women's Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. Here comes Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks looking to qualify for this Fatal 4-Way coming up in a couple weeks' time at WrestleMania. But she's got to take on the longest reigning Smackdown Women's Champion we've had in the universe. She's taking on Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans making her way to the ring. As the hat comes off. And the sassy Southern Belle makes her way to the ring. So here we go with Banks versus Evans. These two have faced off in the past, and Evans starts it off with a clothesline. Picks Banks back up to her feet now, and Lacey Evans. Right hand, and another. And Banks with a counter. Now Banks grabs her. Banks has Evans, who kicks up to her feet. Evans turns Banks around. Lacey Evans, backslide to Banks. 1, no, kick out from Sasha. And now Sasha Banks, thrown in the corner by Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans with a knee strike. And Evans, whoa, doing a headstand in the corner, and the Bronco Buster takes down Banks. And now Lacey Evans raining down with the right hands. And now Banks gets back to her feet and knocks back Evans. Sasha Banks, oh, Meteora connects. Now Banks knee to the back. And now Lacey Evans covered by Banks. Sasha Banks cover on Evans. 1. No, there's a kick out. Now Evans back to her feet. Right hand to Banks. For another. Banks counter. Sasha Banks throws her in the corner. Lacey Evans dodges the double knee strike. And now Lacey Evans caught by Banks. Banks takes her down. And now Sasha Banks getting fired up here. Evans back to her feet now. Sasha Banks grabs Lacey Evans, and Sasha Banks suplex connects. Kick to the back attempt. Evans out of the way. Lacey Evans grabbed by Sasha Banks, who takes her down across the ring. And now Sasha Banks drags her away from the ropes. Cover on Lacey Evans. 1. No, there's a kick out from Lacey. And Evans went for a chop. Banks counters. Banks throws her in the corner. Banks with double knees again. Down she goes. For a boot. Lacey Evans out of the way. Lacey Evans scoops Banks up. And Evans drills her into the mat. Cover. 1. 2, no, Banks kicks out. And now Lacey Evans picks up Sasha Banks, and Lacey Evans, right hand, and another. Evans with Banks into the corner. Lacey Evans grabs Sasha Banks, turns her around. And there's 10. Down goes Banks as Evans picks her up now, and Lacey Evans, whoa, takes down Banks, rolls her through. 1, 2, no. Oh, there's the bankrupt from Sasha Banks. And now Sasha Banks. There's a kick to the back. Now Sasha Banks. Right hand, here we go, Banks. Backstabber. Into the bank statement in on Evans. Sasha Banks looking to try and get her ticket to WrestleMania punched here. Evans. Whoa, rolls her through, cover on Banks. 1, 2, no, Sasha Banks kicked out. Banks. Grabbed by Evans. Kick to the ribs from Banks. Sasha Banks goes for a kick. Evans spins her around. Lacey Evans scoops her back up. Evans plants Banks in the mat. 1, 2, no, another kick out from Sasha. And now Lacey standing over Banks. Lacey Evans grabs Sasha Banks, picks her back up to her feet, and Lacey Evans grabs her. Women's right. Cover. 1, 2, no. And down goes Banks. Lacey Evans now going up top, and Evans diving splash onto Banks. 1, 2, no. Nearly had her there. And now Lacey Evans picks up Sasha Banks, and Lacey Evans elbow strike connects. Oh, takes down Banks again. Lacey Evans, cover. 1, 2, and another kick out. Sasha Banks back to her feet now, and Banks grabs Evans, and Sasha Banks swinging neck breaker. Sasha Banks now picks her up in a seated position. Banks, knee strike to the back. And, whoa, tying up Evans in a straitjacket here, knee in the back. And Lacey Evans trying to get back to her feet here. Takes down Sasha. There's a kick. And there's a counter. And now Sasha Banks throws Evans over the top, and Sasha Banks. Oh, Lacey Evans counters. Evans over the top. Cover. Another cover here. 1, 2. She got her. Lacey Evans beats Sasha Banks. And Lacey Evans is going to WrestleMania. Lacey Evans knocks off Sasha Banks, rolls her up for the win. Lacey Evans is going to WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, the Battle Royal is up next after we see what's going on with the rest of Smackdown. Not used to doing it 2 matches, then seeing what's going on. Used to be the other way around. Lacey Evans gets the win. Let's see what's going on with the rest of Smackdown. Well, in our opening contest, we did just see Edge get the win over Champa. We also just watched Lacey Evans knock off Sasha Banks, so we now know that Lacey Evans joins Nikki Cross and Sonya Deville at WrestleMania. Drew Gulak knocked off Grim Metalik in singles action. Sonya Deville, the SmackDown Women's Champion, knocked off Bayley. New Day beat the Lucha House Party in tag team action. We know that there's going to be a fatal 4-way for the SmackDown tag team titles at WrestleMania. We just don't know exactly what the fatal 4-way is going to entail. But up next, 8-man over the top rope battle royal. Winner represents SmackDown at WrestleMania.
You think you know?
Out first, not often we see someone make 2 entrances on an episode of Universe, but here comes the Rated R superstar. Here comes Edge. Now next, here comes the man who looks to wreck everyone and leave. It's Roman Reigns. He's here to show up and win tonight. See the look on Reigns' face. He's not very happy to see this man. Reigns' bitter rival of Universe Mode, Daniel Bryan. The man Daniel Bryan has had many of matches with in the last few months of Universe Mode. The Olympian Chad Gable. The king of strong style, the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. The show-off, Dolph Ziggler, out next. Out next, here comes the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Here comes the monster among men, Braun Strowman. So without any further ado, here we go. Big question in battle royals like this is always who's going to be the first eliminated. It's going to be Dolph Ziggler. He's gone immediately. Whoa, I nearly thought Nakamura was going to join him for a second there. Reigns and Bryan working together, not something you expected to see. They were trying to eliminate Braun Strowman together there. As now Edge trying to eliminate Shinsuke Nakamura on his own. And I think Nakamura is going to hang on. And he does. Dolph Ziggler was here for a cup of coffee, and that was about it. So one of these 7 is going to WrestleMania. Sheamus with a knee to Gable. Now Daniel Bryan turns his attention to Edge. Braun Strowman is gone. Roman Reigns eliminates Braun Strowman. We're down to 6. And now Reigns immediately turns his attention to his rival Daniel Bryan. Sheamus trying to eliminate Chad Gable, who finds a way out of it. And Edge takes out Reigns. This matchup at the moment seems to kind of be 3 singles fights. As you've got Edge and Nakamura, Sheamus and Gable, and Bryan and Reigns. Although Reigns seems to be doing more gloating than fighting right now as he goes after Sheamus. And now down goes Edge. And Nakamura kicks out the knee. Down goes Bryan as Reigns turns his attention back to him. And now Sheamus grabs Gable. And Sheamus puts Gable in the corner. Sheamus. Is Sheamus about to eliminate Chad Gable? Sheamus has him up in the corner. And Roman Reigns looking to eliminate Daniel Bryan, looking to spoil Bryan's hopes of going to WrestleMania. Is Bryan going to be able to hang on? Edge staggers back as Nakamura grabs him. Edge fighting off the King of Strong Style as Bryan knocks Reigns in the ropes. Nakamura kick to the head of Edge. And now Nakamura started his attention to Bryan. Shinsuke Nakamura, eliminates Daniel Bryan. Well, takes the glory away from Roman Reigns a little bit there, doesn't he? Edge throws Sheamus over the top. And now Edge trying to eliminate the Celtic Warrior. Edge, right hand, Sheamus falls to the outside. We are down to 4. Nakamura, Reigns, Gable, and Edge. Nakamura, Reigns, and Edge. Only one is going to WrestleMania. It might not be Reigns because there's a Kinshasa. And now Edge throws Nakamura over the top. Right hand connects. Edge looking to capitalize. Looking to capitalize off of Nakamura being distracted after hitting the Kinshasa on Roman. Edge pushing him. Trying to push him over. Nakamura trying to hang on though. Nakamura knocks back Edge. Reigns, Edge, and Nakamura. Who will go to WrestleMania? As Reigns grabs Edge, hits him with a spine buster. Reigns now goes after Nakamura and clotheslines him in the back of the neck. Reigns picking Nakamura up, and Nakamura caught by Reigns. Nakamura kicks Reigns in the ribs. And now Shinsuke picks Roman up and slams him down. Nakamura picks up Reigns, and Shinsuke has Reigns up on his shoulders. Shinsuke Nakamura. Edge joining in, trying to eliminate Reigns. Smart strategy. They're getting the biggest dog out of the yard. There goes Roman. Edge and Nakamura, the final 2. Edge. Execution. And now Edge. The ultimate opportunist went for the spear. Nakamura out of the way. Nakamura now grabs Edge, and Nakamura puts the Rated R Superstar up against the ropes and whips him down. Nakamura now is calling up Edge. Shinsuke goes for the kick. Edge spins him around. Edge clotheslines Nakamura. Edge now picks Nakamura back up to his feet. And Edge. Right hand connects. Edge grabs Nakamura. Edge is going to WrestleMania. The Rated R Superstar. Edge, not only does he win the qualifier to get in this Battle Royal, he only goes and wins the whole damn thing. Found the counter to the Kinshasa, grabbed Nakamura, down and out he goes, and just like that, Edge wins 2 matches in one night. Edge represents SmackDown at WrestleMania. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to tune in this Saturday for NXT TakeOver New York. I've been missaying it the last few episodes. I apologize. Ray and I will be there. Big action, like the Undisputed Era versus Imperium versus Mustache Mountain, Adam Cole, Walter, Pete Dunne, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, the debut of Kushida, and much more. I've been Xander, and that was Universe.